Every week we just set you up for a different athlete. We ask the people, can Devin beat this athlete at golf? I'll tell you
Andrew
who you.
Reese.
I know who you couldn't beat. J.R. Smith. Look it up. Look it up. Look up
I want to
J.R.
look at his
Smith.
swing, yeah.
Look up J.R. Smith golfing.
I mean, I know he played college golf. That was a big conversation piece for our podcast a while ago.
There you go. There you go. J.R. College golf. Ladies and gentlemen, as Devin looks up J.R. Smith's golf career stats or whatever the hell you even
No,
call
I just want to look at
stuff
his
over
swing. I want
there.
to see how nice it is, you know?
We're back. We're here. We just got done, I guess, wrapping up the first two games of both Western and Eastern Conference Finals play. Damn. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I guess we start with what we just got done watching, which was, I mean,
Yeah.
I
JR's got a decent swing. It's not very good.
I don't want to call it a nail in the coffin, but
wait, which the Mavs game?
yeah. And this is what I mean by that. They just lost 2 in Minnesota. 2 straight Minnesota. They're going to go back to Dallas for the next 2. And
that's very true.
I mean, even coming back to Minnesota down 3-1. I mean, how confident are you really?
Yeah.
If that's what you're looking at coming back for game 6.
You're probably not confident at all, but I mean, the Mavs won both of these games by a collective 4 points. So it's not like they got the shit kicked out of them.
No, it's
but
just...
we saw it last series with the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. We saw both teams take 2 at home or 2 away in the first 4. And then it kind of led to a weird series of, is there a home court advantage or not? But, I mean, the Timberwolves would have to win the next 2 to kind of keep this thing alive. So it's close to the nail in the coffin, but a 3-0 or a 3-1 is basically it.
Bro,
but I can't count out the Timberwolves. I mean,
look,
this game could have gone their way.
I said this before the series started. My biggest question was going to be, how well is whoever is trying to guard Luka or Kyrie going to be able to keep up with them offensively when that's, points wise, scoring wise. So if you are, let's say, Anthony Edwards, you decide to call out Kyrie Irving and be the one to guard him. You're also the guy that's like, scoring the fucking points that y'all need to win. So when you're going out there,
should be the top scorer on your team.
And it's like you hold Kyrie to 30 points. And you drop 19 points shooting 6 for 16. It's like at this point, when I look at something like this, like I'm watching this game thinking like, bro, I would just let Kyrie like maybe take 10% off the gas when it comes to defense. Take like 10% off the gas. Because we know they're gonna get what they get. It was Kyrie 30, Luka 33. We know this
game 1, right?
Oh, yeah. This is just game 1. And by the way, this is the best duo in the league. I don't know if we've officially made
sure.
No, but officially like the best duo in the league.
Yeah.
Like just duo when it comes down to duo.
But I mean that'll get settled in the finals,
No, because I think if Boston ends up winning the NBA Finals, it's gonna have to do a lot more with just their duo. I think if Dallas wins the finals, they're gonna be combining for 65, 70 points a game every game. Kyrie and Luka will. It could be the same. Could be the same. The same could be said for JT and Jaylen Brown, but I don't know. But I don't know, bro. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Dallas. in the long run. Like I said, game one, it was okay. Ant, you have fun guarding Kyrie. He's dropping 30. You're shooting 6 for 16. Um, and then game two, it's like, all right, we'll keep letting Nas Reed shoot. Like it's
Yeah,
fine. Like he keeps hitting these threes. Like
yeah,
here's the big secret in this whole thing. We'll catch back up. Like Dallas knew that. Dallas knew that.
yeah, yeah.
Dallas
Like
that
they know that if Ant's not tearing their ass up, they can let Nas Reed and Jade McDaniels and all these fucking boys shoot. Like it's not a fear for them. It doesn't matter.
and it's just I mean, and
But the
then
the the true X factor in this series is the lack of offense from not only the big three on the Timberwolves, but Anthony Edwards.
well, I mean, are we finally coming to the point where see my whole thing all postseason, like previewing the postseason was like how ready someone like Ant would be for moments like these, and it's like I wouldn't even necessarily say he's like like choking or like just like
No,
shitting the bed. I think it's
but
more
I
just
mean I at least talked about the Timberwolves like a slightly more complete team. But it seems like he's relying on that a bunch rather than trying to take the fuck over, which is kind of what he needs to do. Like it's cool to spread the love and everyone's got fucking 15, 20 points, but you need to have 35.
see. I mean, like yeah, I mean 21 shooting 5 for 17, bro. It's like
And
God Christ.
nine of those points were free throws.
I mean, he shot 5 for 17, Devin.
I know.
He shot 5 for 17, added 2 turnovers on top of
So when he
that.
was joking about being trash in game 7 of the last series, it's carried over into this series.
And
Pretty
he's minus. I
bad.
mean, he had the worst plus minus on the team.
Yeah, it's not good. Um,
Now he also probably played the most. Where his minutes at was he probably also played the most amount of time. But
sure.
still, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just then you go over to fucking Luca and Kyrie, and it's like what we we had this conversation. I don't know how long ago at this point, a month or two ago, about how any team, anybody's gonna be able to stop these fuckers at the end of the day. When you got to play them 7 times or a potential
Yeah.
7 times, you have to play them.
They're not figure outable. Anthony Edwards, to me, seems like they've figured him out a little bit on the defensive side. Kyrie, you can't figure him out. Luca, I mean, you can try, but
You
he
just
again
gotta
to guard Luca, he has to have a bad game.
you gotta just match them.
You gotta
Like
hope.
I was watching this game and like you could just tell when Dallas decided like, all right, we're gonna kick this into another gear and like
Yeah,
catch up. Like they were, let's say, down.
it was late third quarter. I think they were down like 15 or something.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it was late third. They were down a good double digit lead, and then they kicked a gear where now, mind you, Minnesota went on like a 4 minute run of not hitting a shot, but
Yeah,
hey, shit happens. Dallas also went on for that 4 minute stretch to hit their shots. So, I just I don't know. I think this is just a team that you're just not gonna be able to keep. You're gonna have to just keep up with them offensively.
yeah. And I
That's
mean,
all.
again, these aren't blowout games, and I think they have done a good job at that. But the Timberwolves want to take convincing leads and hold on to them. Ant has to be the separating factor. Otherwise, because once you get to the point where you're not scoring every possession, or there are like there's a 4 minute stretch where you're not scoring, all that is just momentum for the Mavs, who aren't going to let up. So yeah, if Ant's not putting the dagger in these boys pretty early, it's I mean, because if we go back and we look at, I mean, a lot of the games against the Nuggets, they were either blowout wins or blowout losses. Like none of the games were pretty close. Maybe Game 7 was. I don't know, but
Um, God, I can't even. What now? I can't even go back to Game 7.
they won by 8,
I
98 to 90.
I I,
But
I
yeah, Game 6
yeah.
they won by fucking 45. They lost by a ton before that. Like none of those games were actually close. Maybe Game 1, Game 4.
They're down 2-0. Are they? You picked Minnesota.
Yeah, but again, I mean, I would love to see Luka win, and I wouldn't mind seeing the Timberwolves move on. But the Mavs are doing their fucking thing, brother. I like it.
So what are you thinking? They go to Dallas and
They're not closing it out in Dallas now.
they're not closing on Dallas.
I mean, not in 4, no, maybe in 6. I mean, I think 5 or
I think
6.
Minnesota's getting a win or 2 wins off of them.
Yes. What's telling you that wouldn't happen? I mean, again, a collective 4 points between these teams.
Yeah, I mean, how long we've been going for 11 minutes? For what we've been talking about for 11 minutes. I mean, the
No,
fact that
I know, but
it
I
cannot
think
be
that
stopped.
I understand, but I think if Ant can actually score, I think that these games are different.
Like if
Yeah, I think they can at least get 1 and possibly 2. I don't think they're getting 4-0'd.
But I mean, when you just look at these games, it's like, all right, game 1, it's like, we almost got them. It's like Jaden McDaniels led
That's
your
true.
team in points.
Agreed.
If that is what
Game
y'all are
2,
gonna be able
Nas
to,
Reed leads your team in points. Like Ant has to step the fuck up.
if that's what you're gonna showcase, it's like, okay, Dallas is laughing at that. They are winning
Yeah.
every single time.
Yeah.
They could get one. I'd be shocked if they go into Dallas and win both, though. I'd be shocked.
No,
I'd be
I would be
shocked
shocked as well,
if
but
this
I'd
was
also be
2-2.
shocked if the Mavs came out and mushed their guts 3 and 4. Maybe not shocked, but something I would rather not see. You know.
I mean, I mean, if it goes to 7, it goes to 7.
That's cool.
If it goes to 7, it's just more basketball to watch, more games to watch, make it more interesting. Because I'm not gonna lie, once it's up, Dallas is up 3-0.
3-0 is an over series. No team has ever recovered from a 3-0.
Like, how entertaining is that really going to be unless they came back from a 3-0, you know? Like, that'd be
Well,
the
you
only
would have
way.
to win 4 straight, and that's not going to happen. So.
That'd be the only way to make something like that entertaining. All right. The other series, I mean, the confidence I had in saying that the other series is over should really be directed towards this series.
Yes.
Because, I mean, this series is really over.
Of course.
Like, this series is...
And we knew that
it's done.
weeks ago.
Well, I mean, Boston...
And Halliburton, I don't know what the status is on Halliburton, but he left game 2.
He's apparently questionable to play game 3, but I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be playing. I don't think he should.
Questionable for game 3 with a sore hamstring. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're either getting like a 65% Halliburton if he comes in feeling okay,
Yep.
or you're just getting like an offense like solely surrounded around Pascal.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's just he doesn't have to worry about like Halliburton. But I mean, game 1, Boston came out really hot, and then Pacers ended up being up 5 with 2 minutes left, and Jaylen Brown
dagged him, dude.
hits.
It was a weird shot because it was like rushed, and he kind of just went straight up with it from the corner and in front of Pascal.
I mean, if there's any example of a dagger, this is it.
It was a great shot. Luka's shot was a pretty big dagger too. That was nice. Well, that was a game. Jalen's was a game tying 3.
Are we
to send it
daggers?
to overtime?
Are we comparing daggers? I think if you want to compare daggers, I think Jalen Brown. I think Jalen Brown's got him on it. I know it didn't win the game, but it was in the corner, Pascal closing out, and then him
Well,
just.
Pascal backed out because he didn't want to foul what's his nuts from the other
Well, I
series.
mean, imagine if he gets that three off and gets a four. He gets a 4 point play off of that.
Sure.
Then we're really talking about a
Then they get
dagger.
that's a true dagger.
But at the same time, uh, in your honest opinion, no matter whose shelf or shelf has more trophies on it, what's more impressive? Luka hitting a game winner over Rudy Gobert on the perimeter, mind you. In the perimeter, like this is Rudy Gobert not
Oh yeah,
protecting
no,
the rim,
yeah. Agreed.
or Pascal
But
in the
Pascal's a
corner.
lanky weirdo too.
Yeah, but
No, well, I honestly think that Jalen's shot was more unexpected. Like that was a bigger shot
it was also
because
his
it's
first.
game one. They shouldn't have been in that position. It kind of sets the tone at home. When whoever the fuck wins game one, for whatever reason, when I was watching that game live, the Mavs game, we just finished watching it. I never felt like the game left like right when I saw them. I mean, now you did make a face. You had me on the delay part, but watching Luka get guarded by Gobert on the fucking perimeter wasn't very scary. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, they were both great shots, and Celtics won game one.
God, that's just a shame when you had the defensive player of the year on your team, and it's like, all right, we need one stop, and then it's like,
And you can't even say it's like stat watching either, because Wembanyama, Vic had like
Vic.
better stats.
I
So
mean,
I don't I get why he's a good defensive player and blocks are cool and whatever, but like these 7 foot guys, they're dead in the water when you're facing a guy with a little bit of handles.
yeah, that's the thing.
Like Steph tore apart Rudy Gobert for years.
I'll give it to Draymond in his prime. It's like, no, that was a DPOY,
Sure,
because it was a player who could guard
everybody.
fucking a 1 through 5 if he had
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Like if he had to pick you up, he had to pick you up. Like
I mean,
Rudy's
he's not shutting down a Jokic or an Embiid or any of those guys, but he's picking up
Rudy's
some players
Rudy's just picking up rebounds.
and trying to pick up the biggest guy on the court, which
Yeah.
clearly he couldn't do because Nas Reed was. I mean, they're playing zone or whatever, but Nas Reed banged in 7 threes
Well, Nas Reed was clipping. He was clipping. He was doing his
for
thing.
no reason.
Pacers, Celtics. Yeah, like I said, they were up. They were up a little. Tatum hits or Jalen Brown hits that dagger, and then Tatum took over in overtime. He
Yep,
scored more points, I believe, than Indiana did in the entire overtime. Or
probably.
there was one point where it's like they had 6 points as a team, and I think Tatum had like 8 points. Um, they had the chance. That was their best chance of getting one in Boston. Obviously, they're going
Oh
back
yeah.
0-2 to Indiana, so they didn't get one in Boston. I said the X factors were going to be Drew and Derek White, and Drew drops a season high 28 points behind Tatum's 37, right next to Jalen Brown's 26. Derek White, Derek White had 15. But
9
that's the
assists
thing.
though.
Is like when you got you got your utility player dropping 15 behind Tatum dropping 37 and
Yeah,
behind Drew dropping 28 and behind Jalen Brown dropping 26. It's like what the fuck can you ask for?
yeah.
Only thing with this Pacers Boston series, which let me take a look at because I just don't remember. Let me take a look at game 2 because in game 1, the Pacers were 9 for 10 on total free throws,
Game
and
one.
the Celtics were 24 for 30.
I hate free throws, dude. I hate how it changes games. It's very
I
annoying.
mean, look, if I mean, do you? was that like sarcasm or like how much do you actually like? I mean, to me that like when it comes down
No,
to it,
I genuinely hate how much it changes games.
through the course of a game, like if you foul a lot, you foul a lot. That's just what it is. But I mean,
There are oftentimes a lot of big discrepancies in free throw attempts that does really change the course of games.
okay, so it was 17 for 20 for Boston, 11 for 16 for Indiana in game
That's
2.
close enough, you know.
And you know what?
They
It
got
doesn't
they got
change the game.
they got pissed on. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
no,
why.
it can change games.
Yeah, but that's why it's not the end all be all
No, no, no,
conversation,
no,
like
no,
or
no,
factor. Like it's just not it.
no.
Yeah, no, it looks like we got Dallas versus Boston as of right now. That's that. I mean that's what if you
That's a
know.
cool series. I like that series. You
I
got
yeah.
Dallas, who last won in what 11,
Dallas won 2011.
and then Boston in 08.
Mm-hmm. And it's Kyrie versus Boston, which is a super low key like revenge
It's a low
game
key cool moment, you know.
that nobody's talking about, like the revenge on both sides.
Well, there was also like, I mean, the fact that the Celtics made the Eastern Conference Finals the year before Kyrie came. Kyrie came, they shot the bed in the first round or second round or something. Um, the Celtics went to a finals without Kyrie. Kyrie was barely playing basketball because of COVID and all that jackass foolery. Um, but yeah, now Kyrie's riding on the coattails of the best player in the league.
Oh,
No, I know.
no,
Kyrie
nah.
is no, I know. Kyrie is a big part of this team, and I like the duo. This duo is awesome. They're at least the most exciting duo in the league,
Kyrie and Luca.
of course.
See, but that's the thing. It's like you got a good mix of. I mean, that is. I mean, like you said, you really want to talk like probably the best two duos
Yeah,
facing each other in the finals.
yeah.
I like it. I like it. I'm not mad at that at all. Can we talk about some other shit? There's a lot of shit to talk about. Like we talked the NBA games, we talked about the stats, but there's some shit I want to talk about, Devin. Um, for some reason, I can't figure this out. Um, Jamal Adams,
He's being talked about.
he visited he took a visit to Baltimore.
Cool.
Why? What are we doing? Even
Strip clubs.
what are we doing? Even no fucking Baltimore Ravens, buddy.
I'm aware.
Yeah,
I know.
I know, but fuck a strip club. I'm worried
Yeah.
about him being on the roster. I don't care who he's fucking. I don't care what money he's throwing at.
No.
Yes,
I was just pointing out. I don't think I've ever been to a Baltimore strip club, but I can't imagine that they're the best. And I feel like a guy like Jamal Adams would just be hanging out in there, you know. I don't know. I mean, would you like hate it if he was like a fourth string
yes.
safety?
That's the problem. He would be overpaid and he wouldn't be a fourth string safety.
Yeah.
He'd be overpaid and would not be a fourth string safety. Our defense, the Ravens defense, is way too talented to add some guy that's too slow to be a safety and not big enough to be a linebacker. Like, we're good over
Yeah.
here. We're super good. Like, here's the thing. We got this guy who plays safety who's like really big but can move. So we don't need the opposite of that, which is big but can't move for shit.
And super injury prone.
Super injury prone. I mean, it's just we don't.
He had 48 tackles last year. No picks, no sacks, no touchdowns, no nada. 4 career picks.
4 career picks.
21 and a half sacks, though.
Can you say that one more time?
He has 4 career picks as a safety.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to put bro next to Roquan Smith, interior fucking linebacker. Like, what are we talking about? Inside linebacker.
How long
like,
has he played for?
I don't want to see. I don't know what since 2017.
2017. Yeah, damn. That's not great. But yeah, no, super injury prone. Kind of a waste. I mean, if you can get him on the pretty league minimum, maybe.
Ravens got to cut that shit out. They got to cut that shit out. I don't
I mean,
want.
if y'all are really itching for somebody, then maybe. But
Jamal Adams though.
there are better.
For what? What? On what? In what world?
There are better washed safeties in the league.
In what world do we fucking need Jamal? I don't know. We don't need Jamal Adams.
I
We
don't know if
just
it would
don't.
hurt though.
I think it would. I think it would. I think we do this all the time where we sit here and gas up stupid ass moves that the Ravens make.
I
And
don't think
then
this will be gassed. I think
it's the fact that I've seen like 10 reports on it already means it's been too gas. Like
that's true. But no, it doesn't seem. I'm looking at reports. It doesn't seem like any of these are gassed in like a good way. You know,
yeah, but
it's
if
like
the signing
like
happens,
Harbaugh said it was a good visit. We'll see about signing him. That's all he said.
yeah, but then they sign him and it's Jamal Adams signs. Will he continue the Baltimore legacy? It's like no. It's like don't
Yeah,
even
no.
like I don't want. I don't. He's not. No. 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 I don't want Jamal Adams as a Baltimore Raven. I didn't want Odell Beckham Jr. I put up with it. It's cool. He was here. I don't need Jamal Adams here for a year promising a Super Bowl, telling us how much he loves Baltimore, and then go get a bag somewhere else. It's like, bro, just go
Derrick
get your
Henry's cool
bag.
though. Derrick Henry's about to do that to y'all.
Derrick Henry will be a Raven after this season. He'll be a Raven longer than Odell Beckham Jr. was.
It depends.
So depends
There's
on
no
what.
guarantee on you guys paying Derrick Henry.
I mean, I would assume.
I mean,
What
we'll
is
see how
Derrick
the
Henry? Do we
season
even
goes,
know
but
what
yeah,
Derrick
there's no
Henry's
guarantee on
contract
it.
is?
Huh?
Do we even know what Derrick Henry's contract is?
Is he? Oh, he might be on a 2 year.
Let's say, do you even know what you're
Is he on a
taking
2 year
away?
or 1 year?
We're gonna take a look at his contract right now. Yeah, he's on a 2 year.
Okay. Then yeah, he will be a Raven longer. Apologies.
Yeah, I mean he has a player option, I guess, but I mean, if he likes being in Baltimore as much as all these other guys say they do, he won't take the option, and he'll take
Odell just
he'll
wanted to.
play.
Odell just wanted to dance like he was from Baltimore. That's all he cared about when he was just dancing with. He was doing a Baltimore dance. I don't know how people in Baltimore dance, but apparently they have their own dance.
I mean, I think to be completely honest with you, I think when Odell came to Baltimore, he wanted to win, and he went to
Well,
Miami.
he was a Super Bowl winner, you know.
No, well, I'm saying I think Odell went to the Baltimore Ravens believing it was a team that could win the Super Bowl that season.
Yes.
And then he went to a team the next year that gave him the best bag.
Maybe he thinks that they can win a Super Bowl. I don't.
I don't think I don't think he's as confident in the Miami Dolphins team that he's on right now as he was in the Ravens team he was on last year.
I can say he had more confidence in Lamar than he will ever have into a Tagovailoa.
I don't think he'll have any like. Let's be real, bro. Like we've watched Odell with some quarterbacks now, and I mean, he's probably not going to enjoy playing with Tua.
Well, I don't think he'll see the ball much, let alone the field.
Like the fact that I don't know, it's just annoying. Like
It's weird that we talk about Odell, you know, like he's a factor.
he's not. I mean,
But
I still
but he's
go.
been talked about like a factor his entire career because of Chris Collinsworth, you know. That might be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
There
If
was
he
a
didn't say
time.
that, then no one would have ever fucking said shit.
There was a time before the injuries where Odell Beckham Jr. was a
He was
fucking
good.
problem.
Oh yeah, he was also a fucking rocket launching missile anytime he played, no, in a bad way, when he played Josh Norman and they were
No,
deciding to take each other's heads off.
sure, but I'm saying before he started tearing his knee up, breaking his leg, he was a top 5 receiver. He was a problem
Sure.
in the league.
That
You
was
could
8
not.
years ago.
No, yeah. But I'm saying it's not just because of the catch.
No. I understand, but that's kind of a reason that we still talk about him. Like there's a lot of guys who had good seasons 8 years ago and aren't even spoken about for a second.
Fucking Jamal Adams.
Probably one of those guys.
Probably
Yeah.
like a decent rookie year.
Tyrann Mathieu.
No, Tyrann Mathieu had a prime.
He had a
Tyrann Mathieu had a
decent
beautiful
career.
prime.
Yeah, he did.
Not beautiful, but I mean, no, beautiful. I mean, he had a great prime. Tyrann Mathieu had a good prime. Yeah. You're crazy.
No, I know. I was just saying about a guy who was good. I was talking about a guy who was good 8 years ago and is now a non-factor on the Saints.
If you're talking about success at their position, take away any hype, any attention they got on social media, Tyrann Mathieu had a more successful career than.
Oh no, I agree.
I'm just.
No, I agree.
I'm just saying. Or just the more impressive one. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm a hater. Maybe I'm just a hater.
Odell just wants to live that Miami lifestyle.
Speaking of money, we're talking. I mean, we're talking bread. Did you see the shit about Justin Jefferson?
Didn't we talk about him last time?
Well, we saw that he sat out, right?
Correct.
And then reports came out a couple of days after that the Vikings are reportedly set to make him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history.
Really?
Which, I mean, how do you feel? You just heard that. How do you feel hearing that?
I mean, yeah, good for him. I mean, he deserves it. He deserves to be the highest paid player. He is top 5 receiver, and he'll have to deal with some bad quarterback play for a few years. So I don't know.
Okay, so saying he deserves it doesn't mean just him, right?
What do you mean?
Like there could be multiple players that could deserve being the highest paid non-quarterback.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, I'm just
and it usually gets beat quickly,
Yeah, but it's like if I'm Minnesota,
like Khalil Mack was the highest paid non-quarterback in the league for a little bit. For like
and who
6
did
seconds.
that?
Huh?
Who did that?
Who did that?
Yeah.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was a Bear, right?
Look at the hole there. Or did the who? I was gonna say.
Yeah, exactly.
So look like.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a smart decision.
Minnesota making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history would put them in a bigger hole than just playing Sam Darnold 3 years. The next 3 years just playing Sam Darnold.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be what?
The Jefferson
probably close to 40, no?
What? The amount of money?
Maybe 35. I don't know. I don't know what the highest paid non-quarterback is.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume Christian McCaffrey fucking. Don't tell me. Let me guess. Do you know?
No, yet.
You have it. Let me know when you have it, and I'll take a guess. I'd say. Fuck. Ooh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, bro. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably somebody super obvious, and I'm just blanking.
I mean, I doubt it's obvious.
But I just feel like him being the highest paid receiver, or the highest paid non-quarterback. I mean, it's a waste of time. Like, if anything,
is it?
Yeah. If anything, I'm finding a way to get something for Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
Highest paid receiver right now is AJ Brown.
I'm not signing him to some crazy ass contract and then trying to trade him.
AJ Brown's contract is 3 years, 96, which is a good amount of money. 32.
That's what they can give him. What are they gonna give him? Fucking
35.
Yeah. That's.
Well, I mean,
and that's just receiver.
Nick Bosa is the highest paid player who's not a quarterback. 5
Jesus
years, 170,
Christ.
which is
Yeah,
a good chunk of change too.
I don't know, bro. I'm not. I mean, you said like he deserves it, and I agree. Like, yeah, he could deserve it. It's like he might be good enough for that, but when we're talking about, like, let's be real. Yes, take financial stability for the rest of his life out of the way.
Yeah.
He's gonna waste his prime in Minnesota,
Yes.
getting thrown bullshit ass balls.
Well, they got J.J. McCarthy. We don't know how good he'll be, but just saying, national champion.
Yeah, I'll be back week 8 to talk about that and whether he's good or not.
I agree. I agree.
I think Minnesota's wasting their time. See, but okay, it's just like, what are we doing? Y'all
It's
are
weird
making him.
timing. Like,
Y'all are
are we?
making. What's up?
It's weird timing. Like, are they trying to develop a new team, or are they trying to go for something? Like, the Eagles signing A.J. Brown makes sense because this is their time to take over. Like, they have a steady quarterback and a good receiving
They're gonna
core.
get Saquon Barkley too.
And then they
They
have
had to.
Saquon. They have, like, this is the time to spend that money. Um, the Vikings, I don't like you. You have Sam Darnold and a rookie, and Jordan Addison, who could be good, and obviously one of the best receivers in the league, and probably a pretty mediocre defense. No real running back. Like, it's weird.
But if I'm Minnesota, what do I make in the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history? Hope that this year goes well, and if it doesn't, I'm like shopping him after a season.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they'll pull a Russell Wilson,
See, I'll tell you, like one
which
team
is
like that.
probably the best case scenario for them.
I'll tell you one team that I like has at least stuck to their like. Well, no, they're kind of doing the same thing. I mean, Raiders doing the same thing to Devontae.
Yeah, exactly. Like Devontae's stuck there with Aiden O'Connell. He's got nothing.
Well, Gardner Minshew now, I
At
guess.
the time, who?
I guess Gardner Minshew will be the QB
Whatever.
one.
At the time, he was the highest paid receiver, and he went there for money. And yeah, you kind of see what happens.
We've also
Um,
went into full detail on how top quarterback or receivers don't mean anything when it comes to being a Super Bowl champion. So on this podcast, I'm saying like
yes,
we
yeah.
we went over that.
Yeah.
Um,
Like there is no team that you can put the best receiver. Like you can't put the best receiver on every team and they will win a Super Bowl. You could maybe put a quarterback on a lot more bad teams and they will become a good team.
I'd say the
Mahomes
closest
could play
one.
for a lot of different teams and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, besides like there's some outliers like, and
Of
we're
course.
talking this era like
Yes.
2020, 2000 and on.
Yes. Yeah. No. This
Um,
is well. Even
well, I
I
mean,
mean there have been some receivers who have made some differences, but yeah.
the reason I'm saying this era is A, obviously we know a lot more about it, and B, it's because of how much more important passing and more like emphasis people has put on the passing game in the last
Yes.
20 years, 25
Yes.
years. Um, you just kind of how it flipped, run
And
it,
how
pass it,
better
flip.
receivers have got over the years. Like there's only so good like defensively schemes can get for these receivers. Like it's still hard to cover a receiver.
I mean, see, that's the thing though. Are receivers getting better, or are they just getting more creative? If that's what you're referring to, you're referring to like just like the amazing route combinations nowadays.
Well, yeah, I mean you have more options. You know, there's different ways of playing the position,
See, but
and
to me that's in the next like 3 to 5 years that's gonna breed some of the craziest defensive backs like that are just going to be like
yeah,
sideline to
but I
sideline. You
mean,
can't do
just
shit.
the nature of DB is so much harder. You know,
Sure, sure,
and
but
it's
I
just
just
it's
you got
tough.
to think it's like it the receiver and corner kind of like the timeline of like growth with the two positions. It's kind of like a game of like chess. Like
I don't know how to play chess, and I do look down on people who take chess seriously.
Okay, sure. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't know how to play chess either. Checkers. It's kind of like a game of
Checkers,
checkers.
I'm cool with
It's kind of like a game
because
of
that's
checkers.
that's what's called like having fun, like you're
Yeah, just
playing
like
a
a normal
competitive game.
game.
Yeah, but when you're
Um,
geeking the fuck out over tiny little horse people,
I don't know.
I can't stand those people.
I don't know exactly when it was, but I feel like there was a moment where like receivers they started getting more and more creative with with the route running, and there's going to be a time, and but that was their move, and there's going to be a time in the future where it's like these corners are going to be like, all right, we gotta get to the bottom of this shit
Yeah,
because
no,
these
and guys get figured out and shit, but if you got a dude like Tyreek who's really not running real route, like he's running anywhere he can find an open space,
he's running till he
and
gets
he's the
open.
fastest guy on the field. So
Shit,
it's like this. It's the unpredictability of being a receiver that
that's what a
gives you
lot
that
of
edge.
that's what a lot of offense is nowadays. It's like, all right, we're gonna snap the ball. I'm gonna run around for a second. Y'all find an open pocket to drop into, and I'm gonna hit you. That's why nowadays it's almost like it's got to be replayed 5 times, like an actual play being drawn up where like
Yes,
4 specific routes on the route tree are being ran,
yeah.
and it's like a fucking post
I mean, we
over
see it
the
a
top.
lot, but there's a lot of plays that like a lot of the best plays aren't don't come from like the
And they're not
fucking
even
yeah.
broken. Like they're not broken plays.
Well,
It's just
a
like
lot of them are built to be like Tyreek Hill talks about that play a lot, the play from the Super Bowl in 2019, where or was something wasp or whatever. He's open in the middle of the field, like he was meant to run a route where it's not really a route, but he's finding an open pocket in the field.
yeah, and they. I mean, there's also. I mean, and now you got. I mean, there's so many option routes. It's
Yes,
like okay. It's
it's
like
like where's he shading, and then I'm gonna fucking go in or out. Yeah, there's so
yeah.
much that they can
It's
do.
like that route could have changed 5 times
Yeah,
between
exactly.
when the ball snapped and when it was thrown.
Yeah,
Shout out to receivers and
and
corners.
quarterbacks are just so much better in terms of like I don't know, like there's more obviously there's more options for quarterbacks now, and they've kind of adapted to that. Like it's not simple throws too much anymore. Like there's some pretty complicated throws that they're hitting, and it's I don't know. Yeah, receivers are good, and Justin Jefferson's a good one,
Justin Jefferson's a good one, but
but it's
I would
not
say
like we said, it's not franchise changing. I mean, it is in terms of like pull or whatever, but if you have a shitty quarterback thrown to him, it's not that cool.
it's like yeah, unless you want to cement Justin Jefferson's name as a Viking for life, because it's like yeah, now you gotta milk every ounce of prime left in him
Yeah,
now. Like if you're gonna make him the richest guy out of all quarterbacks, it's just not worth it. It's just I don't think it's worth it. I don't
no,
know. I don't think it's worth it. Jets. There's been a lot of hype around the Jets.
there will always be hype. Aaron
Look,
Rodgers said it best.
what do you say?
He said, "I'm must see TV. Whether you like me or you hate me, I'm must see TV. That's what I'm here for."
See now
And he is.
he said he was must see TV, and I'll give it to them. Everybody wants to see Aaron Rodgers play. Everybody wants to see A Rod and the Jets play, but the hype might be getting a little too out of control.
No, a thousand. Like after week 1 or 2, like we're just gonna get back into the regular football of things. Like there's so much talk about A Rod because he hasn't played in 2 years, basically, and
I mean, I know, like I'm part of it. I was hyping up the Jets. I was saying, how far they could go, what they're gonna do, and I still believe they could go on a deep playoff push. They could represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. They could win the Super Bowl. They could. They
but
could
I think they would be doing a pretty good job of making the playoffs, especially in this AFC.
for sure. Like
Like,
that's what
and
I put my money on when it comes to the Jets. Like they'll make the playoffs.
I've said this a lot, and I mean Aaron Rodgers was on a pretty good team for a long time. Made the Super Bowl one time, fucking 14 years ago, and didn't for a long time. And he blamed a shit ton of it on his coaching staff. And now he's on a team with a brand new coach, a defensive-minded coach, and then his offensive coordinator is Nathaniel fucking Hackett, who was the worst head coach of all time. And then we're going to sit here like this is what wins championships, just Aaron Rodgers play solely on its own. I don't know. I can see them, making the playoffs, but I think that they would be pretty outgunned if they go on a real playoff run.
Then you got quotes like this: "Why the Jets, Aaron Rodgers will win the Super Bowl."
Yeah, that's called Stephen A. Smith daily quotes from Mr. Steven.
Now, because of their elite defense, let's look at the reasons why.
Let's chill on the elite defense, actually.
Now, I will give it to them. I mean, the reason they ended
with 4 wins,
7-10.
Huh?
No, what did the Jets finish with last year?
Oh, 6 or 7, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think
I keep thinking it was 4.
They finished with 7-10.
That was Colorado. Sorry.
They were 7-10, and I will say, I mean, their defense was a big part of that, and we knew their defense was gonna be pretty good going into the season, last year. Much improved offensive supporting cast. Breece Hall was recovering from a torn ACL. Wide receiver room was arguably the worst in the league behind Garrett Wilson, and offensive tackle was a major concern. Okay. Hall started slowly last season, but usage increased progressively. So Breece Hall is going to be the X factor.
No, Breece Hall, running wise, no good. I mean, he was pretty good in the passing game.
The Mike Williams
I had him on
signing,
fantasy, so I knew that stuff.
Garrett Wilson, and Mike Williams. So I mean, like he's.
I did forget about Mike Will, Mr. Bacon, Egg, and
Alan
Cheese, or whatever.
And then
Taylor Hammond.
Then of course Randall Cobb. You gotta. Have
that name should not be said. Like this is Alan Lazard. Maybe you can bring up. We're not bringing up Randall Cobb. He should be a coach. He should be a receiver coach. He should not play.
And then people are bringing up the offensive line and Aaron Rodgers' health, and it's like, well, it's kind of like, I mean, it's you'd like to have a better offensive line for sure, but at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers can't roll out and have his Achilles snap 4 plays into the season.
Yeah, no, that's not a offensive line issue.
So that thing was going to pop regardless.
Yeah, that thing was. If it was the first play or the 27th, it was going to pop.
But what nobody's talking about, that nobody's
Do you know why his Achilles popped?
Why?
Because of his 9/11 conspiracies. They were getting him back. George Bush snapped his Achilles. He said, "Stop." He said, "Stop blaming me for that fucking tragedy."
This might be a dumb question, but what was he saying about 9/11?
I don't know. I'm making that up, but he does conspiracy theories. This is all slander.
I can't remember if he was doing his 9/11 stuff or what he was doing.
He probably has. But I mean, it was pretty patriotic. He carried a flag out on 9/11. But yeah, no, George Bush shot him straight in the Achilles. Pop, pop. Sliced him up.
What nobody's talking about, and like one of the reasons people are hyping up the Jets is because like their odds and the games they're favored in to win, and it's like, yeah, because for like a really long time, the Jets pretty much had a guaranteed 6 losses just from their division.
Yes.
Like well, we know that they're not losing to the Patriots. We know they're not beating Miami. And we know they're not beating Buffalo. Yeah. This season alone, we know they're beating New England. They should be able to handle Miami, and Buffalo. We'll see, because I don't even know how good Buffalo is going to be next season.
I don't know how good they're going to be, but I think at worst they split both Miami and Buffalo.
Oh, at worst, okay, yeah.
At worst, yeah, not at best.
Yeah, and I'd probably say about the same. But I will say the hype's just getting a little out of hand. Make the playoffs. Can Aaron Rodgers make the playoffs next year and win a playoff game? I think so. I think he could. But will they win the Super Bowl next year? That's a fucking stretch. I
No,
don't
that's
know
a
if they
that's
win
a
a
big
Super
stretch. I
Bowl.
mean, it is a possibility for sure. I think anything's possible. Kevin Garnett, um, but yeah, no, I don't. I would. It would be cool, but I only want to see it for Aaron's. Like,
Aaron's
I don't
sake.
give a fuck about Sauce. I don't care. I want to see Aaron and fucking Quinn Williams, and that's it. That's
I
cool.
mean, it would
Fuck Robert
be.
Saleh.
It, dude, you and your Robert Saleh hate it makes
Yeah,
no
he's a
sense.
fucking retard.
It makes
Sorry,
no. It makes no
I don't
sense
care.
though.
He sucks
I just don't understand why you hate him.
because he's an idiot. He's a jackass.
Why is he an idiot?
Allow me to say things. I don't need backing up, but Robert Saleh is a defensive coach.
When
He was the
I
defensive coach for the 49ers for a long time. He got the job with the Jets, never had a winning season. And then he's got an OC who was the worst coach in football.
okay, see,
I don't see where like the
you're spitting though, Devin. Like, can I give you your
no,
credit
but I
though?
don't I don't see
Can I give you your
why
credit?
like the
Can I?
why this is a good thing that Robert Saleh is the head
But
coach.
can I
Why
give
is it
you?
cool?
Can I give you your credit though? Like you're spitting. Like you're like fuck Robert Saleh, and I'm like why? And you're like dude, just let me talk. And it's like no, it's like tell me why.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
no,
that's
I
what you
have
get.
reasons. I don't
That's what you
understand
get.
why he's the head coach of this team.
Because I
The,
forgot. I forgot. I'm like, why? Why does Devin not like Robert Saleh? It's like, oh,
no,
it's like he's
he
right.
was popular because he was just a big dude standing on the sideline of the. He was basically a fucking holdback coach for the fucking 40. He was their DC for like a year or two. They had a great year, whatever. And then he gets a job. They suck for 3-4 years, however long, and then they bring on a worse coach to coach their offense. It doesn't make any sense, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. But luckily, when you're Aaron
And I hope I
Rodgers,
eat my words. I hope I'm a fucking idiot who doesn't know anything because I am. But and I bet Robert Saleh's a cool dude. Whatever. Fuck him.
luckily when you're Aaron Rodgers, you don't care who your coach is.
Clearly he does.
I don't know. No. What I mean by that is like, I feel like if Robert Saleh like told him something that Aaron obviously disagreed with, it'd be like, yeah, okay, Rob, like cool, and then Aaron's gonna do what he wants.
No, agreed. But I mean, we look at the AFC, the NFC Championship from 2019, and how his coach ruined that game, and just how many times since 2010 or 2011 that they've had chances to do something, make a Super Bowl, whatever, and it's Mike McCarthy's fault, or it's Matt LaFleur's fault, or it's whoever the fuck's fault.
See, but we can't let. But this is why, like, this article is setting the Jets up for a failure, no matter what. Because, like, remember how we were talking about teams that might go on runs, like in the NBA, where like they're really exciting to watch, but they might not even ever make it to a finals.
Yeah,
It might not count as a failure or like just a complete shit run. It's like
yeah. I
if
mean,
Aaron
Jalen
Rodgers,
Brunson. For what makes me upset about Jalen Brunson is that he looks at the Knicks like a failure. In reality, it's like, no, you had probably one of the best playoff runs that you could ever have.
yeah,
Like, that's not repeatable.
yeah,
You dropping and averaging 35 to 40 points a game is not repeatable. You will be figured out. You're 5 foot, or you're 6'1".
and if let's say the
But and then
next
he sits around and calls it a failure. I mean, I get it, but
let's say for the next 3 years the Jets are good and it's entertaining enough for us to watch them play all the way up into AFC Championship games. It's like okay, they might not win a Super Bowl, but okay, let's say Lamar steals one. Let's say the Niners finally win one or whatever the fuck. It's like
yeah, the
okay,
Eagles
there's
tear one
good
off.
there's other really good teams that might just steal the
Well,
Super
there's
Bowl
so
away.
many times. I mean, every year we have so many teams that we can talk about their possibility of winning the Super Bowl, and we know it'll be one team and one team only, and that's Kansas City Farting Chiefs, because they're the only team allowed to win. But
But maybe stop the expectations because my whole thing, I feel like my thing from the jump has been like
these Jets fans need something to talk about, you know?
my level of expectation was AFC Championship contenders,
Yeah,
which means like I said, they spend the next few years at that playing at that level. That's not a failure.
of course not.
That's y'all were good enough to have the opportunity to be considered Super Bowl contenders.
Yes.
Whether what you did with that opportunity, whether you won or lost or got there or didn't, that's fine. But there are some teams that know next season, right now, they're not going in the next year with any shot of winning a Super Bowl,
Yes.
which
But
might be the exact reason why Minnesota's like, fuck it, give him whatever he wants, give Jettas however much money he
sure,
wants. We know we're not winning a Super Bowl. But what were you
that is
saying?
true.
Sorry.
But no, I mean, I think we have to look at not only the fan and analyst expectations for the Jets, but the Jets' expectations for where they plan to be. They plan to win a Super. Like, there's a lot of teams who go into seasons thinking clearly they're not gonna have any chance of winning a Super Bowl. But then you have a team who spent all this money to get Aaron Rodgers. He's getting paid this year. Who spent all the money to get all these receivers, to get Mike Will, to fucking extend Quinn Williams, like to just put out all this money for this team. And then, I doubt that they'll look at this season if they don't win a Super Bowl like it's a success. Because I mean, you don't know how much longer you've got with Aaron. You got fucking a few years maybe.
If you're 340 pounds and then you lose 50 pounds and you're 290 pounds,
You're still fat.
you still might not be.
Obviously it's an improvement.
Yeah, like you still not might not. You still, but I'm saying
But someone who has a goal to be Mr. Olympia and is 340 pounds and fat, if they lose 50 pounds, they're not going to be excited with being.
But this is the
that,
Jets organization losing 50 pounds. Like they get this squad
Yeah.
that they've never really seen before.
No one has.
You got to remember, it's like, bro, there was a time where the Jets were really convinced Mark Sanchez was gonna
1,000%.
take him to Disney World. Like he thought he
Well, I
was
mean,
really
he
going to do
almost
that.
did. He was
Yeah.
made an AFC Championship. I mean, But here's the thing: when you're the Jets, like, it's like when a fucking stripper says you're cute. Like you're gonna get a little hyped up for a little bit, you know. Like they're gonna take any beans that they can get. Like these boys are desperate.
But I will
And
also
granted,
say,
I mean, Washington fans are incredibly desperate. I mean, if we get a sniff, I'm gonna cum my pants. So
yeah, I mean, if you guys went 7-10 next year, I'd call your guys' season a success.
1,000%,
I'd
because I
say
mean we've got a rookie quarterback. We're in a different spot than a lot of teams, or well, than at least the Jets. But
I would say for my expectations from the Commanders, they were way better than I expected if they go 7-10.
I agree.
Which is like, is that not a success?
It's pretty good. No, I would hope that that's a success.
Because not every team, like we said, not every team has that fucking goal of playing in February. They know it.
Yeah, but then like when you look at the Ravens from 19 when Lamar was MVP and the whole season, it's Mark Ingram and fucking Lamar talking about how they won a Super Bowl and it's the only thing they talk about. Then they lose in the fucking divisional to the Titans.
No, it's a failure.
That's kind of looked at like a failure. But then you look at the attitude of the team last year, the Ravens, taking it game by game, like doing all the work, not getting ahead of themselves, and then losing in a tight game to the fucking the cheatingest fucking losing jackasses in the world. I mean, that's not a failure. I mean, they made an AFC Championship. They showed what the fuck they had. They played a bad game.
I mean, yeah. I mean, really, it's how you handle yourself.
It's perception.
Yeah,
it's the perception that they put on themselves. Like Ant talking all this shit. Like there's a perception that's put onto them. You know, like when you talk shit, like you have to you put that pressure on yourself. You know, you put that pressure on yourself to guard Kyrie. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. No one came out in this series and was like, "Damn, Ant better lock up Kyrie." It's like, no, we need you to score a shit ton of points. That's it.
It's like you better also drop 30.
At least. You better go crazy.
You better fucking
because
keep up.
Nas Reed ain't winning you this game. I mean, he was about 12 seconds away from winning that game.
Yeah, what? 3?
3.
3
Yeah.
seconds left.
Well, no, I mean, if Luka didn't hit that shot, they would have won that game.
Luka was talking his fucking shit.
Luka was going crazy.
Go home,
He
bitch.
said, "Go home, bitch." And he
Go
said some
home,
crazy shit when he
bitch.
dropped that shot on Gobert. I don't know what the fuck he said.
Which was it?
There's a guy who does baseball lip readings. He'll probably do this.
Yeah,
we'll
I need to see exactly what he
I want to
said.
know what the fuck he said. I hope it wasn't in fucking Slovakian or something. Slovenian.
Okay. You brought this up before the pod, and I said I had to make sure I wrote it down, and I want to talk about it.
And then we never talked about it.
I mean,
did you write it down?
Yeah.
Okay, because I never brought it back up. Okay.
Right, we're about to talk about it right now. Go ahead.
Perfect. Will JJ Redick be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers? Hi, we are in Los Angeles. I don't think he should be. I mean, it would be a cool like storyline, but I think this kind of have a few different perspectives on this. Like, for a guy who would want to be a long-term head coach, coaching LeBron is not, especially in your first year, is not the way to kind of go about things. Like,
I mean,
you lose a few games, you get fired. Like, pretty simple.
See, that's the thing. It's like, is JJ?
It's
Redick...
like, do you take control or do you let LeBron do it? You know.
And are you going into this like part, this like, you know, new path in your life? Like, are you trying to continue to be a coach for the Lakers once LeBron leaves? Are you trying to use what you're able to accomplish in this small window, possibly with LeBron, to get other jobs or, you know, other offers? It's, you know, and because I honestly, I don't, obviously we don't know any of these fuckers personally, but JJ Redick gives me the vibe that he's not gonna just be like, okay, yeah, I'll be the coach, and like Bron can just do whatever he wants. Like, he seems like a guy who would want to.
No, he's a guy who wants control for sure.
And he wants to
even
coach.
if you listen to his podcast, any podcast with him, he wants control of anything.
See, I mean, I get that. It's like,
but no, it's just like on a personality level. Also, Undisputed should not be a TV show anymore. Their clip reads, Lakers reportedly see JJ Redick as with Pat Riley level potential.
No. That's
a real thing.
That was a quote from somebody. I forgot who. Can you find that for me? Can you look up here? No, actually, I'll find it. So no, there was a quote where they said who said JJ Redick, Pat Riley, bullshit. I'm gonna type that in Google and see what pops up. Don't insult Pat Riley with the JJ bullshit, is what somebody said. Okay, there you go.
I mean, you can't. This guy's never coached in his life.
See, it's like,
Pat Riley's a Hall of Fame coach, one of the best ever, and one of the best GMs ever.
And it's like, is JJ gonna go to the Lakers? Okay, so you flat out don't think it'd be a good idea, no matter how you slice it.
I mean, I think it could be in the perfect world where JJ kind of wants to relinquish some power, and also, I mean, it's the most scrutinized coaching job in the entire league.
Okay, let's just
coaching LeBron, you either win or you get fired. Like, there's no, hey, good job, buddy. Like, no, you didn't win. You're getting fired.
Let's assume, best case scenario, these guys are both former and current NBA players who know a lot. I mean,
they have a podcast together now, so maybe that's something.
Like, no matter how smart you think LeBron is, or how high of an IQ everybody says he has when it comes to, you know, like basketball IQ, JJ Redick might not be LeBron, but he still knows what the fuck he's doing and knows what he's talking about. So when we say JJ Redick, like, let him coach LeBron, it's not JJ Redick going, LeBron, you have to do this and that. It's
no.
It's what, because Devin, honestly, I'm starting to flip. We talk about this all the time on when it's like when it comes to a certain level of talent,
Yeah,
how much can a coach really do for certain players?
sure.
You
Yeah,
can JJ can do what almost any other coach can do for that is just LeBron. Hey, I saw this one possession in this, hey, in the first quarter, you guys had this, and that those are certain things where it's like, I'm watching, so I saw
yes,
this.
I noticed things. Yeah,
Maybe you should do this. That's perfectly fine. That's part of coaching, but
sure.
there's no like telling LeBron
No,
how to play the game of basketball.
clearly no.
Now,
But I see that point, big. Like it's not the hardest thing in the world to necessarily coach LeBron James. Now, depending on what team they run with next year, whether it's the same or whether they actually try to build a team with guys that they're not just praying that will have good seasons, like
yeah.
D'Angelo Russell, or praying that AD doesn't get hurt.
No, that was me. That
Um,
was me. I was like, bro, the untapped potential on this roster.
no, like, it's there. Like it's
I'm like, bro,
untapped.
Jackson Hayes.
Yes, like
He's
all of
so
that is there,
good.
but it's truly like let's fucking hope that these guys can give us something.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a few teams
But
that are like that, but um,
when you think about it though, like outside of LeBron, let's take LeBron even out of it. Who's like what's more in 2024? What would be more what would be a like who what do you think NBA players would want more as a coach than a former like a former player who's likable? Like
I don't know
JJ
how
Redick
likable he is
JJ Redick seems like
relatively.
you got to think who would be the most relating to a player. It'd be a
No,
former
yeah,
player,
Redick is probably one of those guys for sure.
because you got to
I
think
mean,
like
Jason Kidd is clearly doing his thing in Dallas right now, and he's
like
killing it.
you got coaches that talk to you like you're stupid, and then you
Yeah.
got coaches that talk to you like they know you know better.
Yes.
JJ seems like it's like, look, like because he's like he knows like he's been in a lot of positions. He's gonna see his own players in, and it's like,
Yeah.
I could see his approach to coaching more of like, come on, like you knew you
Yes.
opposed to like a what the fuck are we doing?
Doc Rivers. Yes.
Like that type of
Now
thing.
my thing is like, when was the last time you heard about David Blatt? Exactly. You remember David Blatt?
Can you refresh?
Fired midway through the Cavs season. Picked up Tyronn Lue. Tyronn Lue wins a championship with the Cavs. Has a job to this day.
Wow, what a pull!
Thank you.
What a pull!
JJ Redick has a shitty start to the season or a shitty season. Like how long down the road do you think we're gonna hear Darvin Ham's name? Or is he gonna be an
Um,
assistant? Fucking what's his nuts? Luke Walton. You remember him? Lakers former head coach?
yeah, I remember Luke.
Assistant coach for the fucking Bucks, maybe. He's an assistant coach somewhere. He's sitting third on the bench, fourth on the bench. Like, but especially in LeBron's case, like, if he has a terrible season, now he's just a podcaster. And he still has that running for him.
Yeah, but
But
it's, it's also
he would have
teams.
to have a good season to have continual success as an NBA coach.
I mean,
And I think it's
Tyron
kind of a
Lue.
weird spot to start it.
I mean, look at the team that fell in his lap.
I mean, this is probably one of the best case scenarios that you could have.
So, and then we're talking about JJ Redick possibly getting his first tenure as a coach, being able to coach LeBron and AD.
Thousand
It's like
percent.
that's
But
pretty.
but if you look down the line, I mean, right now he's making a good buck being a professional podcaster, and he's got multiple podcasts. He's got a podcast with LeBron.
Uh,
Now say he has a losing season with LeBron. Does he still have that podcast with LeBron, or is he gone? Do people still look at him like he's some type of smart guy in the league,
I
or do we
was.
look at him like he's an idiot?
I mean, I would say that if fucking Patrick Beverly can do his fucking podcast and do absolutely nothing on a basketball court, and Draymond Green can do a podcast and do absolutely nothing. And
No,
when I
I
say
know.
absolutely nothing, I mean getting suspended and not being allowed to do a damn thing on a
Agreed.
basketball court.
Agreed.
JJ Redick can be a former basketball player who also has a podcast and also be a head coach if he wanted to. Do you
I
think
know, but it's
you think he's building this brand and simultaneously going, but I could just say fuck all this and go coach and possibly be a coach in the NBA? It's like, no, he's having this brand for good. Like for good.
well, I know, but the brand loyalty changes if he shits the bed with LeBron James. Because no
No,
one's shitting on LeBron
I don't
James.
know.
Everyone will shit on Darvin Ham. No one's gonna shit on LeBron James.
But
Everyone's gonna shit on JJ Redick. Because
no,
JJ Redick is a guy who is already scrutinized.
nobody who's fans of that side of YouTube or podcasts are
But
like,
JJ still gets views because he's like kind of controversial in a way.
but people
Not,
aren't.
it's not like people love him like he's some
Well,
funny guy.
but JJ's been no, but people like listening to him talk ball.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
I mean him and I mean just the I mean JJ's interesting to hear talk, but what I'm saying is he's been building this brand for a while, and he's not. This isn't a situation where it's like Pat McAfee can't take a coaching job. He's
No.
every fucking day doing his shit. Bro, it's like JJ
This is
Redick.
a
Yeah, you can go
few
and
times
coach,
a
and
week.
then you can hop in the studio and film something real quick. It's it's
Sure.
whatever.
I don't know. To me, it's a weird spot for not only the Lakers, but especially for JJ Redick.
But who are the other options? Like I hear people saying like, oh, you could just get like someone with a little more experience. Is like, I mean, what, a little more experience?
Like I honestly think this is a much worse move for JJ Redick than it is for the Lakers. But yeah, the Lakers could probably get a janitor and still win 50 games.
What's a better move?
30 games.
What move impacts the Lakers more like in a positive way next season?
I think getting a strong number 3.
Hiring JJ Redick or drafting Bronny?
Neither. Drafting Bronny does nothing for the Lakers because they
Bronny-
already have what they
Bronny's
would want to get from drafting Bronny.
Bronny's have to be a son. Well, he's already a son, but he's gonna be a Phoenix son.
That would be more impactful to the Suns.
It's kind of
only if they get LeBron.
Bronny, JJ Redick is the Bronny of future coaching. like Bronny is JJ Redick now, because it's like, okay, think about it. Bronny could think about how easy Bronny could just continue to just go stream and just be famous for whatever.
I mean, that wouldn't last. That would only last a few years.
Oh, you mean a few years once he gets his dad to retire and co-host and some shit sometimes?
Oh no, of course. I mean,
he would be famous and he'd be set for life.
Sure. He's already set for life, brother.
But I'm saying even as on a fame level, popularity level, clout level.
Sure.
Lonzo can never play again, and people are still if he started a podcast, people are going to watch.
Dude, Lonzo just got a new meniscus. He's good.
Can we? What the fuck was that? I got a notification just Lonzo talks about meniscus donor.
I don't know how you could donate a meniscus. Did he get it from a paraplegic? I bet he's got a pretty solid meniscus.
That no, it's probably a super weak meniscus. It's not. I mean, it's probably.
Well, it's cartilage, so it's not once you wear down cartilage, it doesn't grow back.
But I feel if you don't say your cartilage goes unused for 5 years, don't you think it's probably
maybe it just disintegrates? Yeah, maybe
it's probably a little fucked up. But that definitely opens up the question to what else could be donated.
I mean, everything can be donated.
But everything, in a real world, okay, if you want to go that far.
I mean, I don't know where else we would go.
I don't think so.
You don't think a wiener can be donated?
If I lose my piece, I don't think it can just. First of all, nobody's donating their dick. That's the first thing.
No, I know. What I'm saying is a donor. like a
No, I don't think that's on
like
the
in like no
list.
like an Oregon donor who
That's
maybe has a motorcycle accident, and then some paramedic comes by and
I don't think that's
slices
on
the
the
tip.
list.
Wiener?
Yeah, no. Like
I
like
bet it's
on
happened.
on donor. I don't know, bro. I don't know if it worked that way. But
So,
I don't. It just makes me wonder. Like is it how simple is donation? Like can I get a new pair of eyes?
no,
So you can't get new eyes, but you
I
could get
don't
a new
think so.
meniscus.
Well, yeah, a meniscus is not.
See, but I wouldn't have thought. I wouldn't have thought you could get a new meniscus.
I mean, you can get a new. Well, I mean, your ACL usually is taken from a different tendon in your body and just put in. There,
What
yeah,
about
there really is.
Achilles?
Huh,
Could these
it is
guys?
the.
Can these players get new Achilles?
I don't know.
Do they take a piece of like their elbow and just throw it in their leg?
Maybe. I mean,
Because
I've heard of regenerating. Like you could like some guy lost his nose to frostbite and then grew it back on his forehead and then put it on his face. I
yeah,
think someone grew a penis on their arm. Maybe
yeah. That that
something like
that
that.
that that, that definitely happened. That definitely was
Let me
a
look up
thing.
arm penis.
See, to be honest, you could give Lonzo LeBron's 20-year-old meniscus, like both of them, and it's not gonna matter. It's
I
not.
know, but like, how do you like? Is the donating person dying? Like, how do you
Dude, can we look into that real quick? Lonzo and his new meniscus. I had it somewhere on here. Let's see if
like that? That was my entire ESPN. It was like
I mean, like, yeah, no, it was.
Lonzo's got a new meniscus.
Where is it at? Where is Lonzo's new meniscus at? Antonio Brown files for bankruptcy. That's hilarious.
Congratulations. He has no
Which
more
that
cartridge
never.
left in it. Needed a transplant. It was performed last year.
Yeah, no, he just had like talked about it.
Yeah, because he said that he was recovering from something, but he said it was bone on bone rubbing. Got new meniscus from a donor. Bone allograft. I don't understand how you would get a meniscus from a person.
Oh my God! Speaking of the Ball family,
Who what?
because we were talking about because Lonzo he gets a new meniscus.
Hmm.
But fucking Lonzo Ball almost takes a little girl's meniscus off.
LaMelo Ball.
Or LaMelo Ball almost takes a girl's fucking meniscus off.
Didn't he allegedly almost run over a lady? A little girl?
Okay, so
Oh, yes.
apparently,
Some mother is claiming that LaMelo ran over her daughter.
okay,
Son.
so no daughter.
Says son.
Are you sure?
Yes. Drove over son's foot.
Oh,
11-year-old
I don't
son's
know.
foot.
Okay, yeah. So the
There a
videos are
video?
plentiful. The videos are plentiful. LaMelo Ball speeding out of Charlotte Hornets players parking lot after a game. He does. I see a lot of these videos. Like they're saying, there's a lot of videos I see him pulling out in his fucking expensive cars, gunning the accelerator and running the first red light down the street. Fans line a lot, hoping against hope that Ball or a teammate will slow down, roll down a window, sign whatever they hand him. Angel Joseph was one of the hopeful October 7th, 2023, and according to a lawsuit filed Tuesday in Mecklenburg County Superior Court in North Carolina, Ball drove over his foot and broke it. Angel was 11 at the time and attempting to get an autograph outside Spectrum Center Arena after the team's Purple and Teal Day, an annual scrimmage designed to increase fan support ahead of the regular season. Instead, the lawsuit said Ball barreled over Angel's foot, failing to yield the right of way to a pedestrian or to apply his brakes in time to avoid an accident. The lawsuit says Angel suffered injuries that took several months to heal and damages totaling more than $25,000. Angel was like, LaMelo, I love you. Give me your autograph. Can you sign it for me? Angel's mother, Tamara McRae, told the news station. The lawsuit also targets the Hornets, alleging the team did not provide adequate security and pedestrian control measures in the players' parking lot. Ball, of course, is the youngest of three brothers who Chino Hills, yada yada, Australia, all that. Meanwhile, he withstood the notoriety orchestrated by his father. Why are we talking about this? Played in the NBA. Lonzo, who spent his first 2 seasons. Jeez, why are we on Lonzo now? Injury.
Nothing will happen.
More pressing for LaMelo might be the injury sustained by Angel and lawsuit alleging that Ball is driving calls it. McRae says the lengthy recovery has taken an emotional toll on her son, now 12. For a while, I couldn't even recognize who my child was because, all
right, that's
okay, all right. See,
for as much as bad driving is a factor, stepping out into a road knowingly to get a player's autograph is not a safe thing, especially for a child. So who knows? But there is a compilation of him just blitzing red lights just for fun.
Yeah, not being able to go outside and play when you see your children hurt, it hurts you. It's been rough. It's been real rough.
That's just a normal thing of
getting
hurt.
I'm not saying it's not true. Like, we're not saying like
no, I know, but I understand. Like, this is just sappy garbage at this point.
Okay, so let's talk about it then, because this whole thing is about like LaMelo needing to be responsible for, I guess, how he drives out of the. Now, I will say this: does he drive recklessly out of the parking garage?
Clearly,
yes, he does. Should you, no matter the speed of a car,
the Charlotte Hornets are not involved in security, especially in that manner. Like, that's not their job.
Okay, you could throw that on
like
the
just because there's videos. Every video that he's skirting out of the parking lot, there's a crowd of people standing on the sidewalk.
Okay, should you walk up to any car at any speed? No, you shouldn't.
I did not see a crosswalk there.
Should you send your? Should you let your 11-year-old son get that close to a car going that fast? See, that's the thing. Like, that's almost like this mom's almost setting her ass up to get.
Well, she's literally saying that her son was in the middle of the street saying, "I love you, I love you, I love you, sign my thing." He's in a death machine. He's in any car at any speed will break your foot.
Also, I hate to be the asshole because we're kind of like being like we're not saying like
to be fuck them kids,
but it's not like fuck this 11-year-old kid. But it's also like, don't you think if this was like some traumatic experience, there would have been something caught on video, like the aftermath, or
it would have been. This seems like this happened a pretty decent
October 7th.
Yeah, he's already recovered.
Well, yeah, it was October 7th. It was it was before the season started.
There would be a criminal lawsuit.
But it's criminal suit. Don't you think there'd be a video of like an 11-year-old boy
my son's hurt.
My foot, fuck, or
World Star has every fucking video. I saw a guy's legs get run over the other day.
There are like the war.
There's videos of literally everything, and you're not going to
go watch live streams of wars going on right now.
Currently.
And it's like
you can watch a 17-year-old rapper put a bullet in his head in his house. Did you see that video?
No.
Oh, there was some up-and-coming rapper who was playing with a fucking gun.
Who? I didn't hear about that at all.
He's a Virginia rapper. Can't remember his name.
Huh. I didn't hear about that. But it's just I don't know. Like, obviously, should LaMelo Ball be safer? Yeah. But he also shouldn't have to worry about parents just like shoving their kids out in the road to or as close as possible to the road to get an autograph. Because it's also like, if you know, and it's also like, okay, I'm going back and forth. I'm playing like both sides, but it's like, it's not their job to know everything about the guy, but it's like, if you love LaMelo, you've probably seen a video of him speeding out. What the fuck makes you think he's going to give you an autograph? Like, it's just all these things. It's
also, you're not like LaMelo did not drive on the sidewalk. That's not what they're saying.
Yeah. That's the thing.
They're saying that the article started with her saying that it's a normal thing for children and people to run up to athletes' cars and ask for shit. She's saying that they stand there hoping that he rolls down his window and signs something for them.
Yeah.
That's not means to walk out in the middle of the street and wave down a car.
And like avoiding the right of way to a pedestrian. It's like, no. If somebody is in the middle trying to cross the street and LaMelo runs him the fuck over, it's like, yeah.
Different.
But no. If somebody's standing there, like, this would be like if and I'm not comparing it, but like if like a homeless guy walked out too far
Yeah,
and was like, "Can I please have some money?" Fuck my foot. It's
yeah,
like, dude, get out of the road. Like,
yeah.
what are you
You're in the road.
doing? Like,
Like,
you're
well, yeah,
not.
there's, and usually these scenarios, like, if someone complains, like if the pedestrian complains or the driver complains, like one of them is at fault, if not both of them. Like the fact that you're in the street and then the fact that you hit a person with your car, you're kind of both at fault, and it kind of just cancels each other out. Like you're jaywalking and you hit somebody. Like it's whose fault is it really?
Yeah,
Nobody.
I don't know.
Like you
It's
rolled over a fucking kid's foot.
I don't
Probably
think
your
they're
fault.
getting. I don't think they're really getting anything out of
What
that.
happened to teaching kids to look both ways, and now she's teaching her kid to beg for autographs?
Dude, there was one time.
I hate that shit too.
One time, I was probably, let's say, I was maybe like 10, probably
Yeah.
around the same age, and I was like playing outside, and I laid down in the road.
Yeah.
And I remember like my dad coming out and just being like, "Get the fuck out of the
Yeah.
road!
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?" And like I'm like that now. Like even like my damn dog. Like any
Oh, yeah.
little thing, it's like stop.
Don't
Like
play
don't.
with this. No, it's not a
But
joke.
like I like remember being that young, and like it's not that hard to instill that type of shit into like I remember when I
Yeah.
remember hearing that and being like, "Oh, like I really should never like just do
But
that."
but before then, you have no idea the dangers of
It's like
those
me, I'm
things.
like, "Oh, I'm just laying in the
When you're
road."
10 years old, you give a fuck about shit. You don't care.
I could have been younger, but I remember being
No,
young.
I'm saying when the age of however old this kid was, 11 and 10 years old.
But I'm saying it didn't have to take much for that mom to be like, "You should probably stand back and be careful." Like they might.
I'm already picturing exactly what she would have said. I'm just not gonna try to quote her.
I don't know. It's a very weird scenario. OTA news. OTAs are here, Devin. We talked some OTA news last week or last episode. Let's talk about some OTA news from this week.
Caleb Williams sucks. That's what I heard.
Does he? Does he suck? What I saw was the complete opposite.
No, I heard he stunk. Maybe that was a dream.
I heard he. I mean, I haven't. Okay,
I heard he had
obviously.
a terrible day.
Oh, did he?
That's what
Can
I
you
heard.
fact check me on some Caleb Williams shit
Did
while
I
I
have
look
a
while I
dream?
tell you.
Do I
Okay,
dream?
there's some other shit though. Sadly, and when I say sadly, I mean it's in the best way. Sadly, Calvin Ridley is looking very fresh, very quick, but he's in Tennessee, and
Yeah, who gives a fuck, dude?
we know what happened. And you know what's so sad? DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley are both healthy in Tennessee right now.
Yeah, that was the Calvin Ridley move was very sad. That was very sad. The fact that they're both there.
Like,
sad.
I'm sorry. Him ending up
these
in
guys
Tennessee,
are really like, yeah, we have faith in Will Levis.
him ending up in Tennessee 3 years after the gambling shit is more of a punishment than the 1 year suspension he had.
1,000%.
Like
to be DeAndre Hopkins number 2 and Will Levis is throwing the football and you have no running back, you don't have Derrick Henry,
dude. I mean, Jesus Christ.
You have nothing. I would rather be sitting at home making bets. Like that sounds like a way more fun life. It honestly doesn't. I'm being facetious or whatever the word is, but I bet Calvin Ridley's he's making a shit ton of money, so you can't really not have fun
he's
with
going to take the under every single week. He's a Tennessee Titan.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing that's been a big topic, at least in like the last week, and I really don't know how I feel about it. I'd like to know how you feel about it. It's Lamar's weight loss.
I did see that. I saw the report. Well, I'll start with it. I saw the report that said Lamar said he lost a few pounds. He looks visibly a little bit smaller. Said he lost some weight to remain more agile. This is kind of contradictory to why he put on weight. He put on weight to protect himself and maybe sacrifice a step or a half a step to protect himself if he does get hit. Clearly, he was running a little bit less than he had in prior years, but that's just because the nature of this football team. They've got good runners and he's able to pass the ball more. But it seems contrary to what their game plan was last year, throwing the ball more and being a bigger, stronger, tougher quarterback.
Well, I mean, you may never know how they felt week in, week out. He might not felt as fast or felt
Sure.
as elusive or whatever. I mean, obviously we didn't tell. The man won the MVP.
Yeah, exactly.
He's 10 pounds lighter than last season, and he's 25 pounds lighter than the season before.
Okay.
He's 25 pounds lighter than 2022.
But if it's 10, then I thought it was 25 compared to last year. If it's 10, not a problem. Like, that's a solid amount of weight that's not that scary to take off, especially if he had a pretty healthy season last year, losing 15 pounds.
Yeah, I guess I didn't consider that. But see that contradicts everything, because if he lost weight before last season, why is it a big? I guess maybe it's that he's continuing to lose weight.
Yeah,
maybe that's the biggest deal.
When we talk about him putting on weight, he was putting on weight after his first MVP season, 2019. That's when he started to say, "Hey, I need to be bigger. I need to be stronger. I need to be faster."
Well, actually, it was after his injuries.
Yeah, 2020-ish. So he played a few years a little bit bigger.
Yeah, well, 2020, 2021, he was getting hurt. 2022, he came in bigger.
Got hurt again. Then he was hurt, but he was sitting out, basically.
I'm not a big fan of it.
I don't like it in, like, conceptually, like, why he would need to lose weight. But at the same time, I'm not really afraid of him losing a few pounds. I don't think it's that big of a change, but
like my thing is, it's just, why change some, like, there's no reason for this change in my eyes.
Yeah.
Now, like to me, it poses more of a potential harm than good. But I will also say that most of Lamar, like all of Lamar's injuries were never like because like he just got destroyed by someone that was
they were minor
rolled his ankle up, injuries, banged his knee up. Like it was nothing like that. So maybe
Lamar's never been like rocked.
Maybe it's even better that he's lighter and it's not as much weight on his legs and his ankles and his knees. I don't know.
Like,
I don't know how I feel
him.
About it.
And what he feels best being, but I would imagine that he probably felt a little weird just trying to run with that.
Bro, I'm like a buck. Because
he was pretty big.
I'm like a $165, and I walk around like fuck. So I can only imagine like an NFL player,
6'something",
6'1",
220. He was probably 225 at his biggest, maybe a little bit lighter than that.
It's like I could only imagine, like, there's probably days he wakes up and like takes a step like, ooh.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's probably every day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like I definitely could see that.
But Caleb Williams was struggling during OTAs. He apparently threw 7 straight interceptions and then got benched during OTAs. I don't know how you get benched during OTAs. I don't know what that means.
Oh my God. That means they went. Okay, well, this is what I would assume. He's taking.
Said he was struggling on 7-on-7 and 11-on-11.
I would assume he's taking QB1 reps, and they went, now you're not. Get on the bench. Like, you're sub. Like that. I mean, holy shit. 7 straight interceptions?
Yeah, I mean, this is his first few practices. I don't know. He's also a troll. So
no. We're not giving that pass. So I'm going to fully assume he's trying at practice, not trolling at practice.
Well, someone released a tweet and then he just put 2 laughing emojis under it.
I'm also
like, it was just like, hey, he was shitty in OTAs, and then he was like, ha ha ha, my nails is pink. It's like, all right, do you want to be Tyler the Creator or do you want to be an NFL quarterback? Hold on, fuck.
Look, you could easily say, it's his first day, he throws 7 picks, but then you could also remind yourself that he is a Heisman-winning quarterback who
from the year prior.
this isn't his first time
No,
just playing a competent defense.
could be. He was playing in the Pac-12.
The most skilled. But you gotta remember, some of these guys in the NFL played in the Pac-12. You just gotta figure that shit out.
Some of them. I mean, his receiver did. Roma Dunes.
I'll tell you, the NFL did a really good job of covering that up. Because
there are things you won't hear about, my boy.
All I've seen is Caleb Williams' completions from practice. I haven't even heard.
Videos of it.
Yeah, I haven't heard no reports of 7 straight interceptions and all that shit.
The only report, that I saw was nothing good about anything.
That's interesting. I did not.
The media is a weird world, my boy.
The media is a weird world. Okay, so last thing before we get out of here, there is something else I want to talk about. The NIL deals. The NIL, bro.
Yeah, what I saw something happen with the NCAA, you can pay them now or something.
Well, that is one topic, but I want to talk about more.
Are you talking about a specific occurrence?
Yeah. Specific occurrence, specific school.
Was that Texas or Florida?
That would be the University of Florida. So, Jaden Rashada, a former ESPN 300 quarterback recruit, sued the University of Florida and coach Billy Napier on Tuesday. Rashada is claiming he was defrauded of millions of dollars in name, image, and likeness money.
$13.5 million.
The lawsuit, among other things, alleged that Napier promised the player's father a $1 million partial payment upon signing. Rashada never got the money, and the boosters never fulfilled the deal, the lawsuit states. Remember all this. It is the latest in a long saga involving the player and the school. Now Rashada is the first college athlete known to sue his coach or a booster due to a dispute over an NIL deal. What's next for Rashada in Florida? Our reporter breaks it down. Rashada was ranked number 31 overall in the 2023 class and had a prep career that featured several transfers. His freshman season of high school, he played at Liberty High School. He then transferred to IMG Academy, going back to California to play 3 seasons at Pittsburgh High School. His college decision came down to 2 Florida schools and 2 big NIL numbers. Rashada committed to Miami in June 2022. The lawsuit states that Rashada had a $9.5 million NIL promise with the Canes, but Rashada decommitted that November and promptly flipped to the Gators and Coach Napier. He signed his national letter of intent during the December signing period. However, he didn't enroll at Florida, and his arrival in Gainesville was contingent on a 4-year, $13.85 million NIL deal. Rashada asked for a release from his letter of intent when the deal fell through. Okay? The Gator Collective, an independent fundraising organization that distributed money to UF athletes at the time, was responsible for the deal. However, the financial backing did not materialize, and the Gator Collective terminated the contract. Rashada was released from his letter of intent. He then took a visit to Arizona State and committed to play for the Sun Devils, arriving on campus in July 2023. Rashada started the first 2 games of the season, but an injury kept him out most of the season in 3 games. Rashada entered the transfer portal on April 18th and is now transferring to Georgia, where he will have 4 years of eligibility remaining. They talk about how it affected other quarterbacks. Florida did have a plan for its future. Napier had a long-standing commitment from DJ Lagway, the top-rated quarterback in the class of 2024. Lagway committed to Florida just weeks before Rashada signed his letter of intent, and the Gators were in a massive fight to keep Lagway as other schools went after him as signing day approached last December. So the NCAA alerted Florida almost a year ago that it was investigating claims that the football program had violated recruiting rules. According to documents obtained by the Associated Press, the ESPN confirmed the investigation was related to Rashada's recruitment. Rashada claims in his lawsuit that Napier directly promised Rashad a $1 million payment from a booster if he signed with Florida, which would be a violation of the NCAA's policies. The NCAA penalized Florida State and suspended one of its coaches in January for getting involved in NIL offers made to a prospect. However, the NCAA sent a letter to its schools in late February explaining that it was pausing all open enforcement cases involving third-party participation in NIL-related activities after a federal judge in Tennessee granted an injunction that prohibited the NCAA from enforcing some of its rules. That case was filed by Tennessee's Attorney General after the NCAA opened an investigation into the Vols' recruiting tactics. Any other high-profile enforcement actions taken by the NCAA, such as a penalty for Napier and the Gators, could invite additional lawsuits at a time when the association remains vulnerable to the scrutiny, which makes it unlikely that any NCAA punishments could be coming. All right.
Jinx. What I hear, number one, is that if, just off what you said recently, is that if Florida is to be penalized, it'll be by the NCAA and not have anything to do with whatever the fuck Rashada's thing is. Rashada would have signed a 4-year, $13.85 million deal if the contract had not fallen through. Like, you're not guaranteed. He did not fulfill a contract of 4 years at a school.
He's suing.
He never applied for the school.
He's suing for what Napier illegally promised.
But it's a contractual agreement. There is no contract.
See, the $1 million that he offered apparently wasn't allowed.
Yes, but then that $1 million doesn't go to him because it wasn't allowed. You can't punish someone for an illegal activity and then still force them to pay that illegal money to a player.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
they could be punished by the NCAA.
Like he could be punished for offering it, but then you can't turn around and go
give him his money. Yeah, no, because it's illegal in the eyes of the NCAA.
This is what it sounds like to me. Okay, I'll say the first thing first. Yeah, I'm a little biased. I know that these schools all around the world, all around the country, have been fraudulent. It's not a coincidence Nick Saban decided as soon as you could pay players legally.
Yeah.
This is a lot harder.
He was like, it just takes all of what college football is about. That's illegally paying players to and recruiting the strippers and prostitutes and all that and all the fun stuff, you know.
I think people forget that Jim Harbaugh was doing a lot more than giving people hamburgers.
Yes.
You know, like people have been doing some shit. Now Napier offering $1 million, and then for some reason, see, here's the thing though. It's like he offered $1 million. The whole thing, everything fell through. Why would he still give you the $1 million? Like, you're not playing for us. You're not.
Well, number one, he's not going to give you the $1 million, and now he can't. And number two, the $13 million, the $14 million is over a 4-year contract, given that you play for the school, or at least
if anything,
apply. I mean, there was probably something in the contract that said he would have to play a certain amount of time to make that money. He fulfilled none of the contract. The contract wasn't even a thing under, apparently, from what you said.
See, he didn't enroll at Florida. He asked for a release from his letter of intent.
So that's a release from the contract. You don't say, hey, I went out of the contract, but pay me my money.
The financial backing did not materialize. The Gator Collective terminated the contract. Like he asked, right?
Well, he said he's terminating the contract. Well, he said he was decommitting or letter of intenting because the contract fell through.
This sounds like he missed out on an extra $4 million.
This sounds like he missed out on $14 million.
Well, I mean, he had a $9.5 million deal with the Hurricanes.
Well, yeah, no, he had that. decommitted from there and then went
It
for the
fell
14 at
through with
Florida.
Florida.
I
And
mean,
he realized he fucked up.
how much did he make?
Because what happened with
I mean, he's
Miami?
going to Georgia now, so I
Why
don't
isn't
know.
he suing Miami? Like, did he call Miami back and go, "Hey guys,"
Give
and
me
they were
my
like,
9 mil.
and did they go no? And then did he go, "Well, I'm suing you." Like, why is Miami
Yeah,
not getting sued? Like,
yeah.
I'm confused on why just Florida is getting. It sounds like the biggest problem is the promise that was against the rules that
The
violated
million
their
dollar
rules.
promise, yes.
Um, because from what
It
I'm
said
reading
once
is
Jaden committed to UF, rather than make Jaden rich as promised, these people with Hathcock leading the charge changed their tune and went back on the word. The amount of UF affiliated NIL money available decreased drastically. I don't want to specify how much. So all they said was, "Hey, we're gonna probably give him this much money," and then they said, "No, we're gonna restructure and probably give him less money
see, but
because we're about to take on the number one prospect in all of college football."
yeah.
What the fuck am I paying the
Bro's gonna eat.
31st guy for
But
if
it's
we have the
also
number one fucking guy?
but this is the problem with the NIL shit. I'm all for paying the players and everything, but these players also got to understand that now this is really a business now.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
this isn't just you're coming to school and play. This is a
No.
business now
This
where
isn't like, "Hey, yeah,
millions
I'm going
of
to be rich. Pay me my money." It's
yeah
like, you don't have that power,
like
especially not in college. There's a lot more guys.
millions of dollars are involved now.
Billions, brother.
But I'm saying like with these players,
Yeah.
it's like
With players, yeah.
like these guys like aren't used to missing out on millions of dollars. Like
No.
you get to a point in your professional career where it's like you might miss out on a deal, you might miss out on that. It might suck, but now it's like you got eight.
Well, Schroeder missed out on the deal of a lifetime.
Yes, he did.
That's one of the worst ones, but
But you
yeah.
got 18-year-olds out here getting
Yeah.
promised $14 million, and then it's getting pulled out of their nose, and all of a sudden they're like,
But
wait.
here's the thing, it's not a promise. It's a negotiation for a contract. Like, it's not, "Hey, we're going to pay you 13, $14 million just because we said so."
And I don't think these 18-year-olds are used to that.
It's like, no, there you have to fulfill certain things, and honestly, we're probably not going to pay you that much money because you're not worth that much money. They decide all of this stuff.
See, and that's the thing. We're the
Which to
first.
me is odd that, like, this money is being promised by the schools when name, image, and likeness is meant that you can, like, Manziel yourself and
And this is
make money yourself.
this is the first NIL lawsuit. And don't get it twisted. This is a snowball. It's a snowball right here.
Oh yeah, no, this won't. Like, if especially if he wins this, which in my small brain, I think there's no way that he could ever win something like this. But if he does, then all of these fuckers are going to be crawling back for their money.
Oh,
Everyone who's missed out on a dime.
oh. Wait till the fucking lawsuits hit Dion's
But
door.
oh my god!
Like,
but
lawsuits are coming in left
out the
and right to
motherfucker,
all of
dude.
these universities soon. Like, cause that's the
Yeah.
thing. Now that money is involved, Devin, these lawsuits are coming. I promise you.
But
I promise.
but the thing is,
I'm not even that surprised.
but the precedent can't be set that you're allowed to sue based off of money that was potentially promised.
But that's what, bro. But that's what it is in every business. It's like, you promised me this, now I'm going to sue you. That's like a type.
No, but like there was no contract. They were in the process of writing a contract. That's when you determine how much. Like, it's not like you tell LeBron James you tell LeBron James you're going to give him $100 million, and then you're like, "No, we're doing the contract negotiations. You're going to make less."
See, now this case will be presented in front of a jury. At least the lawyer asks. He wants this to be a jury case.
You're saying if?
I'm saying it was either reported that it was going to be, or that is what his lawyer asked for. I can't.
That's probably what his lawyer asked for,
but I'm saying like we're gonna have to wait and see what was said. Like was
well,
this?
yeah.
Was this
Like,
a
was the promise a contractual agreement?
and also it's like I mean I'm on both sides. I mean once you sign some shit, I mean you can't just one side can't just pull out and do this. It's like I want to know what was said on both sides. Like,
Well, sure, but I mean, there are verbal contracts, verbal agreements that can be made, but at the same time, it's like
do they hold up in court?
he had no contract.
Does a verbal contract hold up in court? I don't think so.
It is possible. It's very possible, but
That's
not
complete
in
hearsay.
this case. It's usually in cases where it's like I had someone, I had a contract, I had a contractual agreement that someone was going to do work on my house, and I said I would pay him this amount of money. He did all the work, blah 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 blah. I gave him $12. Like he never enrolled in the school. He never played
Yeah,
for
no,
the
this
school.
is like okay.
He didn't fulfill one piece of that contract, so that he is not entitled to this money.
I'm gonna do your
'Cause
roof. I'm gonna do your roof for $15,000. I'll be here on the 6th,
yeah,
and then when I don't show up, I here
I charge you
I
$15,000.
charge you $15,000,
Yeah,
and then you don't pay me, and then I
yeah,
sue you for not giving me my 15. Like
it's exactly
it doesn't. I don't know. I don't. Whatever. Sue us. Sue us. Look.
13.8 million. I mean, yeah, that's pocket change, brother.
I read one thing. If there's one thing when scandals are involved and things are getting and accusations getting thrown around, that means you're back. That means you're back in the fucking game. What did Michigan do? They cheated and then they went 15-0. They cheated and went 15. Because I'll tell you this right now. I hope we're cheating. I hope we weren't cheating before to not make a bowl, to not be bowl eligible. I know we weren't cheating last year to go 5-7, Devin. I can promise you
Clearly
that.
not.
There's no
Yes,
way.
but hopefully you guys are cheating to get the best players possible.
If we
And clearly
go
this guy's not one of them.
if we win 5 games next season, like yeah, no, I'm gonna be a little pissed. I'm a little pissed. We're sitting here just throwing around
And be down $14 million. That would suck.
just throwing around million. It's chump change, but
No.
if we're just throwing around $1 million promises and then playing like shit. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Florida is confusing the shit out of me, but
Now, yeah, the only confusing one is that Napier called Rashada and then promised $1 million, but it seems to me like Florida is free of that because it's illegal.
yeah,
Like they can be reprimanded by the NCAA,
uh-huh.
but you can't be enforced to do something illegal. Like if the contract involves something illegal, that contract under the eyes of an organization is void.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
So
he ain't getting that $1 million,
no,
Buster.
I don't understand why he's. I don't understand who his lawyer thinks he is,
But
taking on the entire fucking NIL. Like this seems crazy to me.
with all of that being said, we talked Pacers, Celtics, T-Wolves, Mavs, some OTA news, the Ball family, Jamal Adams, Florida getting sued, JJ Redick. Is there anything else you want to talk about or say before we get out of here?
I like egg rolls. They're pretty good sometimes.
Not a big egg roll guy, but okay. I respect it.
If I go to a Bears game, Caleb, I got you, brother. I'd love to help out. If you promise me $1 million, I will paint your nails for you. So
Okay.
Then I'll refuse, and then I'll sue you. So
Okay. Well,
suck.
With all of that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of On It. We'll be back on Tuesday to talk more NBA basketball or more NBA playoffs, should I say? More OTA news and more. I mean, who knows? Maybe somebody else gets their foot ran over. Another college gets sued. Another former NBA player gets suggested to coach a basketball team. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, Devin. But
I mean, there will be a lot that will happen.
I'm sure. But with all that being said, brand new episodes every Saturday and Tuesday. We'll be back on Tuesday. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out.
BBL Mikey. I couldn't get it out. Damn it.